In this 53rd video, I speak on a small topic, that is only the human suffering. This is the topic. Why I have selected this topic? Because no doubt we are suffering. We the humans are suffering. But a question struck my mind, whether humans are suffering, other organisms also are suffering. This is my doubt. This is my question striking my mind. That means along the humans, other animals, other organisms, plants also are suffering. This is my doubt. And let us try to go into the topic by way of discussion, by way of illustrations. Say, we the humans no doubt suffering a lot. It is because of so many reasons. We are suffering for for so many reasons, due to lack of security, due to lack of food security, due to lack of economic security, due to lack of financial security, due to lack of we can say job security, due to lack of environmental security, due to lack of cyber security, and whatnot. Different insecurities are causing problem to human race. That's why there is really very pathetic situation being prevailing in this world as far as the life of the humans is concerned. Humans are suffering. Now the suffering is not restricted to a particular nation, particular ethnic group. All kinds of, all categories of people all over the world, in all nations, are suffering from some kind of problem or the other. Say, in one country, food problem may be there. In other country, economic problems or some environmental problem may be there. Or in some countries, maybe some, economic problems may be there. And in some other countries, cyber crimes. But cyber crime is universal. Almost in all the countries, we are facing with this cyber crime, cyber insecurity. Say, for example, we will take one problem, health problem. Health problem is there in all countries, in almost all countries. Every ethnic group, every every category of people are suffering with this bad health, lack of proper health. And today, not only the COVID-19 pandemic, many other diseases are there intruded into our life. Say, there are multi-drug resistant diseases have already intruded into human race, like multi-drug resistant TB, multi-drug resistant fungal diseases. So many diseases like AIDS, HIV, and Ebola. So many dreadful diseases and have entered into human life, causing havoc in human life. Now, why these humans are suffering with these diseases and health problems? It may be due to the problem of the, we can say, lack of hygiene conditions in the environment, maybe lack of good food, hygienic food, maybe lack of exercise, lack of good rest for the people. Some people are suffering with Alzheimer's disease. Some people are suffering with insomnia, lack of sleep. So not only number of mental disorders people are suffering with, and this kind of COVID-19 pandemic is causing really great human loss. Even frontline workers, many frontline workers, doctors have died, and workers, police people have died, and protectors have died, many people. And why so much pandemic, means so much dreadful pandemic has arisen? We don't know. The virus, simple virus, is causing such a big problem, health problem today globally. And not only that, and food problem. And almost in all the poor nations, people are suffering with the food problem, lack of food. This is also a problem, the suffering. Lack of food makes the people suffer with the hunger. So that's how the humans are suffering with the virus infections, bacterial infections, and the food problem, lack of food. They're suffering with hunger and lack of insecurity for their life. They are not protected, and so many murders, so many crimes are being committed by bad people. We are suffering. And what about the other organisms? Whether only humans are suffering? What about the other organisms? Yes, other animals also are suffering. According to, it's my personal opinion. Other animals also, most of lakhs and lakhs of animals are there, plants are there, flora and fauna. It is our suffering is universal. It's cosmopolitan. So as the degree of visibility is greater, higher, the the degree of suffering, the degree of looking at the universal suffering also very, very high. So when you look at the suffering, human suffering, definitely the degree of suffering is more prevalent and more visible. If you widen your visibility, the degree of suffering also becomes wider and wider and greater and greater. So it all depends on the degree of visibility. If the degree of visibility is greater, higher, the degree of suffering also you look at will be wider. That means as you look at the suffering, the human race, the suffering can be visible to your naked eye. And it is not only the humans. Animals are suffering. They are subjected to cruelty. Animals are subjected to cruelty. They are suffering with the diseases. Animals also are suffering with the diseases. Various diseases, bacterial, viral diseases. We don't know. Only some veterinarians and veterinary doctors, they know some diseases. They know they are treating some animals, but there are millions and millions of species in the flora and fauna globally on the planet, and we don't know how many species of fauna, how many species of flora are there. Still it is a mystery, it is unknown, it is not within our knowledge. Still the research is going on, exploration is going on. The scientists are trying to find out the exact the number of species and species of in the plant kingdom, in the animal kingdom, in the deep ocean, in the climate, in the atmosphere, in the soil. How many viruses are there? How many plants are there? How many different species are there? We don't know still. And definitely, suffering is not restricted to a particular human beings, particular human race. It is universal. The suffering is universal. Therefore, we call it universal suffering. So that means it is very much ethical concern to the humans. In respect of humans, it is our ethical concern in respect to look at the universal suffering which is there existing in all the flora and fauna and all the plant kingdom and also animal kingdom. So animals are suffering, plants also are suffering with viral diseases, plants also suffering with fungal diseases. So this is how the suffering is universal. This universal suffering is to be looked at with great ethical concern by the human race. So this is my personal opinion. So suffering is not restricted to humans alone. The suffering is universal, cosmopolitan. So therefore, we should have cosmopolitan ethical concern to look at the universal suffering which is there in the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, and human race. Thank you very much, dear viewers. If you like my video, kindly share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much, dear viewers. Thank you.